Alright, we're back. We got ourselves a little bit of Mexican Cerveza here. This one's the Apolo Black IPA, or CDA, if you will, a Cascadian Dark Ale. Originated in the Pacific Northwest, and that is Yakima, Washington, if you don't know. Little Melly Mel right there. No, but the CDA is basically a black IPA. Cascadian Dark Ale. It originated in the Pacific Northwest, and it got recognized as an official beer style, and it actually gets judged in all the competitions and whatnot. So, it is legit. Basically, they take a dark ale akin to a porter or a stout. Look at the carbonation on this one. And they hop it like an IPA. Come on, Mexico. You could do better. You could do better. So this is another beer from Mexico. Let me just kind of sip this up here. I've had multiple beers that are over-carbonated from them, which is kind of a bummer. But try to make the best of it. So let's see what it tastes like. Alright, so it's quite bitter. It's actually like a hot bomb, almost. Whatever they chose had like really high like alpha acids or something, because not only is it like black coffee bitter, but it's also like really like piney at the same time. So yeah, this is really like one-sided. I don't know Spanish, so I can't really tell you much. I see a 6.4 up top there, but I don't see like any hops hopping off the can at me. Kind of, I don't know. I don't know if I'm a fan. I'll drink it. There's a hint of sweetness, which might be its saving grace, but other than that, it's just too one-sided. It's a little bit unbalanced. Alright, so I got tagged in the 5-soap mashup video. I got tagged by Jim Will Shave, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Jim Will Shave. So, I did not write tags down, so I'll have to think of them as the shave goes on. So, what we have here is a few of the soaps that we are using. We got Barrister and Mann's Beaudelaire, a fougere scent with mousse de saxe. And then we got Sakura Rouge, which is a cologne fragrance made by Amaroma Parfums. It's a Strike Gold Shave release in the Patriot base. This is in Excelsior. This one's kind of like an oriental. It's kind of like a spicy. It has, I believe, like cinnamon leaf, allspice, stuff like that. And it has some sweetness to it as well. Then we're doing the Full Measure of Mann. And this is a kind of cured aged tobacco scent with mousse de saxe. And it's kind of dark and very robust and masculine. And then Kituwah, which is, as far as I know, a blend of multiple high-end colognes, and Tuscan leather from Tom Ford has to be in there. But this blend kind of takes that, you know, raspberry DNA from the Tuscan leather, but then it has like this whole like mysterious, like charred, dark character to it. I love that soap. And then I topped it off with the Goat. I topped it off with some Vespers, which has that same mousse de saxe, but this one has some evergreen with the balsam and the fern, and then a little bit of sweetness from the cranberry. And we created a monster, I think. Alright, let's wet the face. And this water got a little bit of beer in it. So this truly is a DK damn fine shave here, because we're rinsing down with some beer water. And it looks like my sunburn that I got from my time on the lake starting to flake a little bit. Not to gross anybody out, but we're going to get some good exfoliating going on here with the brush and with the razor. So, the resulting lather was insane. I obviously overloaded, but just look at the multiple tips on there. So much density. I mean, I'll probably end up having to add more water, to be honest. I might as well throw a little bit of menthol, since we're running late anyways. Throw a little bit of menthol right on top. Just a taster. Like I said, my organic menthol that I got off Amazon, it doesn't affect the scent whatsoever. I mean, don't get me wrong, it has a scent of its own, but it's so mild that it's never once interfered with any soap that I've ever put it on. Alright, let's get right into it. Fucking luxurious. I decided to go with my Lancaster Razor Works shave brush here. This shave's not so much about the gear, it's more about the 5 soap mashup. And so, if I'm not focusing on spotlighting the gear, figured might as well use my favorite brush. Or my favorite badger knot, rather. Not necessarily my favorite brush handle or brush. But definitely has my favorite badger knot, this Lancaster V1. Good shit. So, we need to talk about the fragrance. And so, I have found that I am a fan of the Mousse de Saxe from Barrister and Mann. Definitely not a fan of the Mousse de Saxe from Holy Caw. Denarius was a fucking abomination, and Shri should have been stoned and tarred and feathered for that one. Of course, I'm joking. Shri's a good guy, but holy smokes. He must have been in a dark place when he made that one. That Denarius, I hated that. But, of course, Shri makes really nice products, but that was a bad one. Sorry, Shri. But this lather is scented crazy good. Like I said, 3 different forms of Mousse de Saxe, which I am a huge fan of. And it takes that evergreen balsam and fern from Vespers, that very warm aged tobacco from the Full Measure of Mann, and then that classic green fougere base from Beaudelaire, and that right there helps this combo create a very prominent Mousse de Saxe base. It's complex, there's no doubt about it. There's a lot going on here. These are not single note colognes that I mixed together. These are all pretty high profile, bold and banging scents that are quite strong on their own. And except for maybe Sakura Rouge, that's probably the only one that is a little bit weaker in scent strength. Not quite as bold and banging as the other 4. Sorry, I had an itch. But that one has prominent spicy notes And that's kind of why I chose it, because I kind of wanted those spicy notes to pull through the very deep, dark Mousse de Saxe heavy base that I kind of created. Now, I'm just being honest. I didn't get out the fucking measuring cup, measuring spoons, and make this an exact science. I got my little Baskin-Robbins sample spoon that I load all my shave of the days with. And I tried to eyeball it, but the full measure of Mann, I feel like, is winning this one. It definitely, I can feel its presence more than the rest. And then on top of that, I feel like I'm getting a bit of those fruits, like the raspberry note from Kituwah and the cranberry from Vespers. And those aren't like super bright and tart fruit notes. Those are more like sweet, ripe fruit notes. I think it's sitting very well on top of that Mousse de Saxe. Yeah, that was a fantastic first pass. I definitely, the combination of these soap bases, the Patriot Base, Excelsior, and FLS 3.0, the combination is godly. Very, very, very dense. Luxurious. You can really feel the weight of it on your face. It obviously took gobs of water because I loaded really heavy. But this right here just has a crazy sheen, a crazy density, and there's obviously no issues whatsoever with slickness. This is crazy. I might have to do this again because this was beautiful. It is a dense one. Just craziness. I am feeling a little bit of the cooling cutting through. Not very much, but just a little low-level, entry-level tingle, which is just fine. So I should probably work on some tags before I get to the end of this motherfucker. So let's see. I was tagged by Jim. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate you sending tags my way. I always have fun with tag videos, as long as I don't get slammed with tags to the point where I don't have time to do like daily shaves of my own creation. As long as they don't, take up my whole foreseeable calendar of shaves, I'm alright with it. A tag video here, a tag video there. That's fine. So I appreciate you tagging me, Jim. I think I'll tag, let's see. I don't know if Shaving with Raza has done it yet. I was talking to him the other day on Lather and Blade Facebook group. And we had I always have a good time talking with Raza. He's a good dude. He also has multiple artwork soaps coming out. So he's doing something with Ariana and Evans, I believe, for the Lather and Blade Facebook group. He's done multiple for Zingari Man. He's on a roll. And he does a really good job. The Rockwell 6 Shady. I haven't mentioned it yet, but can't go wrong. Love this fucking razor. This fucking lather is insane. Might be one of the best lathers I've ever made. If nothing else, the lather that this made is worth doing again. Believe it or not, I used to do this soap mixology, is what I called it. I used to do this way more often when I first started and I had less product. I would do little homemade combinations all on my own with some of my favorite soaps, and I just called it soap mixology. I talked to Doug Bear the other day. I know I've mentioned him a few times, and you know, he said he's been busy and life's been crazy. But if you remember Doug Bear, he definitely showed us some soap mixology of his own. And Doug Bear always had wild but very creative ways of doing things. And I always learned something, and I always got the gears turning watching Doug. I would tag Doug Bear from the Barely Normal Wet Shaver. Check him out, and also check out Shaving with Raza and Jim Will Shave. Those are the buddies, good guys. I would tag Doug, but I don't think he has time to do stuff right now, unfortunately. But my thoughts and good vibes are always with Doug. Really good guy. I call him Sensei Doug because he offers tips and advice and his knowledge freely to anybody that needed it. So I call him Sensei Doug. So let's see. I tagged Shaving with Raza. Who else? Who else could do this? Who else do I want to see this? And this is exactly why you pick your tags beforehand. The thing with me is that I just turn the camera on and start rolling. I don't do a lot of prep. That was a wonderful fucking scent. I mean, it was pretty much destined to smell good. The captain, LatherMeWhiskers, he told me that he mixed Full Measure Mann and Vespers, and he said it was fucking great. And so that's kind of what made me think about mixing them, because that's my number one and my number two favorite scents in the whole of wet shaving. So I was like, shit, I just bought Beaudelaire. Might as well throw all three in and have a strong Mousse de Saxe base to build upon. And then they each have very unique characteristics that make them different as well. So they're bringing more than just the Mousse de Saxe to the party. And then I wear Kituwah all the fucking time. I don't care if it's out of season. I love Kituwah. And so I was like, that's definitely going in there. And then when I was looking, that last one, I was looking for something that was going to bring something unique to the table. Not fruitiness, not citrus. Not really, I didn't need any more sweetness. I didn't really need any more darkness either. And so, something that Sakura Rouge brings is that spice. And so I was like, yeah. I'm real happy with the result. Very nice. Okay, I suppose I'll get the rest out of the beard off camera. I didn't pull an aftershave out, but I always have full measure of Mann close, and considering this is the one that I thought was winning the battle, might as well finish off with that. Full measure of Mann. Beautiful scent. I think this is the second best scent in all of wet shaving. Baby. That is fucking nice. So let's see. Shaving with Raza. Definitely. Damn. I'm thinking now, has Lyle the Sask Shaver done the 5 soap mashup? I know he's recently been making videos again. He took a short hiatus, and we definitely missed him while he was gone. So, Lyle the Sask Shaver. I'm going to tag you too, buddy. I don't think you've done this one, the 5 soap mashup. So, yeah. I'll just tag those two. I don't want to sit on here with a perplexed face for much longer. But, Raza, Lyle, let's see what you got. Let's get creative, boys. Alright, guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all the support. Don't overcarbonate your beers. Cheers, and I'll catch you on the next one.